everything is possible. People who can't walk, they walk. People who like spend 10 years in coma, they come back. We just need to believe that life is magical. It literally is. And especially with our own body, anything can happen.
Welcome back to Enthusiastically Spiritual. I'm your host, Teresa. In this episode, we're going to go on a journey into healing the body. My guest today has had health issues from her childhood, and by the time she was in her 30s and ready to have a baby, she was not able to conceive. She then dug deep into her gut health and hormones and discovered the role our minds play in healing our bodies. Finally, she healed herself, and now she has 2 amazing children. Her name is Olesya Wilson, and she is a certified nutritionist, functional diagnostic practitioner, psychosomatics, and energy healer. Her unique approach integrates cutting-edge lab testing, the latest discoveries in biological science, ancient herbal medicine, and revolutionary psychosomatic and energy healing practices to help people thrive, reverse aging, and forget about chronic health problems. Welcome, Olesya.
Thank you.
Well, I'm excited because body is a big thing for me. I have been in transformation my whole life, gone through ups and downs with drinking a lot and eating too much and being in this really toxic area. So I know you have your beautiful journey. Also, I'd love for you to share with the listeners your path to healing and how you got to where you're at now.
This is interesting when you're speaking about path to healing. Just recently I understood that the whole juiciness of life is in the path. We are so in a hurry to arrive to children, to good health, to, making the first million, whoever wants whatever their goal. And I understood that it's like, Mario game. It's always going to be the next level, and you're not ever going to be satisfied until you love the journey. It's like, being moms, we love being pregnant, and we're like, well, when the baby is born, and yes, you have the joy, but baby is born and you have to do a lot. And sometimes you as a mom, you love this child, the hormones, but you hate this child. Like every mom knows that. You go through that and you're like, oh, I just can't stand it. And then the next sweetest phase, and the same with money. I feel like the same with your health. And that's why I feel like just with one thing, we can fix 90% of our health problems, is to enjoy your journey to the next level of health you want, because we want to be there. So every diet we try, and nutrition is a big wild west. There's so many diets, there's so many approaches. Yours is there, I promise you. Just have to find yours, accumulating the information. But it is that one tip is to our saliva in our mouth is like healing juice. And a lot of women can get rid of cravings, finding the next diet. When you really concentrate on your food and understand that your body will do everything, if you concentrate on it and you chew until it's liquid, you'll be amazed how fast your body is going to cleanse, how the process is going to start, happening in your body. And fasting, like you mentioned that, we just need clean cells, clean soul, clean mind. That's all. It's pretty simple.
Clean everything, right?
Yes, every time. I couldn't work from fertility medication.
Well, I know that you grew up in Russia, and I know that your story is that you had a doctor tell you when you were really young that when you had scoliosis that you weren't going to live past like was it 30? Share a little bit about that, because
yes,
because I know that so many doctors, they tell us stuff when we're younger, and then we surpass it and we heal. So would love for you to share that part about your journey.
Yes, and it lived with me. It was like my nightmare. It's like I blocked it from my mind, but you hear something like this as a little girl, it lives with you. But the thing is, they told my parents that I'm not gonna, so probably it's gonna be over for me when I'm 30, because the scoliosis was so so severe. Right now, I am 40 years old. They told me I can't get pregnant. I have 2 children. I am 40. I look 10 years younger. My life just starting. And right now, I'm working with the fasting and with really amazing. Um, I don't even know. He is a therapist who helped me with my back. And I am fixing my back basically. It looks better than it in 14. And there was a journey to it, but everything is possible. You know, people who can't walk, they walk. People who like spend 10 years in coma, they come back. We just need to believe that life is magical. It literally is. And especially with our own body, anything can happen. But the thing is, I got so used to like this idea and I blocked it from my mind. What I lately learned, if you learn how to be an observer of this life, like literally, if somebody talking to you like, oh, you know, you have this illness, you can't do this, like who you are, just literally said, I told God this year, like, take me, like whatever you bring, just I'm yours. You know what kind of millions I want. You know what kind of back I want. You know what kind of health I want. Just show me how it can be even better. You know, surprise me. And whatever feelings coming to my mind when I'm talking to people around me, I just block it and I ask myself, who is talking? Is it one of the masks that accumulated through life? Like, you know, when the doctor told me I'm not going to live until 30, when they told me I'm not going to have my children, when they told me you have to be on this type of diet, whenever I'm eating my food, I always ask first, who is talking? Is it a mask I'm wearing? Is it somebody who told me something? Or is it really me? And when you block all of your stupid thoughts that coming, I tell myself, who is talking? I'm a newborn baby. I feel my body and I do what I want. I did have, how I started this, I did have fasting. Like I have my Russian herbs fast. It's amazing. We turn off the digestion, we feed the cell, and it's getting easier and easier. I have I'm a big girl about the parasites, bacteria, and fungus. I believe our spiritual and mindful journey goes a lot faster when we just work on all three levels. We just remove what doesn't belong to your soul, to your mind, to your body. And it's like beautiful flower. Whoops, it opens up and you're like, oh, I love it. I love the journey. Like, let's have this pregnancy. Let's don't be in a hurry to have a baby.
Oh, I love
and
that.
just do the next step, you know, opening yourself up as a beautiful flower. And all we need is just remove what doesn't belong in there. All these stupid thoughts and masks, all these parasites, bacteria, fungus. And that's why kind of like in my program, I have these three levels and spiritual, like there is a lot of spiritual toxicity right now when it became popular. You know
Well,
what
that's
I
funny.
mean?
That's exactly where I want to go. I want to go with this into the fact that energetically, so I found for myself as I've gone through my life, I started waking up in my late 30s, 38 when I went to massage therapy school. And before that, I was obviously awake, but I didn't understand what was going on. And I noticed that in looking at where I'm at now, because like you, I'm the healthiest I've ever been my whole life, and I'm almost 55.
You
So,
look like you are.
oh, I feel
You look
so
amazing.
good. Thank you. And so do you. I mean, because it's good living, but my outer is matching my inner. So where I'm at spiritually is now matching that. So as more and more people are waking up and more people are understanding more about who they are as a soul, now they're like, it's the body thing. Have you found that with clients that they're waking up and they're like, oh my gosh, now what do I do with the body? Because my body is not matching what I feel inside.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it happens fast. Again, it's two things we need. We don't need complicated diets. We don't need to go really into the science of it. And it's beautiful. I've tried every diet. I've tried every protocol from functional medicine to herbs. But when you remove what doesn't belong, everything happens fast. And then minerals, because we got to face it. We are lacking good minerals right now at this point on the planet. The vegetables and fruits we get from the store, they're totally not what we supposed to eat. The mineral content is not there, even organically. But like I said, back to saliva. It's a magic liquid that our body has. If you're looking like kind of like deeper into metabiology, going deep, and our body is going through a lot of transformations right now. Everything we need is inside of us. So yes, like understanding that minerals, sourcing the minerals right now, it's important. And remove everything, adding the minerals, right type of minerals. I like to do HTMA test. This is when we see what's going on with the minerals for your particular body. And one of the magical ones I found is iodine. We don't need to be scared of it. If you use the right type of iodine, if you use like cofactors like vitamin C, like molybdenum, selenium, you can create miracles in your body with the help of iodine.
I love
Yeah.
that because I've not heard iodine too much mentioned. I mean, I've heard before that a lot of us are iodine deficient, but tell me a little more about what does iodine do for the body?
Well, the thing is, it's such a magical mineral. It pushes out all of the heavy metals, everything that's making the cell very toxic and sleepy. I call it sleepy. That when there's a lot of inflammation from yeast, and I do GI map. It's kind of like a gut test. We check the DNA of a bacteria and I test, and I see that it's a lot of fungus, a lot of bacteria, even the good bacteria, which follows food so often, and the food deprived of soil-based bacteria. So there is like absolutely imbalance of our ecosystem. And when our cell detect this inflammation that's coming from basically a war going on inside of the body, it's kind of like closing itself. It's like, ooh, it's a siege here. Orcs are coming. Let's block everything. And it's becoming calcified. So iodine helps to relax that cell, to open it up. Iodine helps to push the heavy metals out. We don't need all of this chelation therapy, I believe. We don't need the harsh things. The iodine is it's very detoxing. It's horrible for fungus. So I found that if you use the right type of herbs and iodine, good iodine protocol together, you can bring these. A lot of people suffer from insulin resistance, hormone resistance. So the hormones, the nutrients don't get inside of the cell. So it's helping with these. It's helping to decalcify the cell. It's helping with energy, absolutely. Mothers, the brain health, the neurotransmitters, mothers who want, and this is not a medical advice. I don't want anybody who's pregnant jump on iodine without consulting anyone, because we don't want to be responsible. But if you want to create this genius miracle baby, talk to your practitioner about adding iodine sources, any iodine sources, because baby is becoming super smart. It's a little bit stimulating, so sometimes you will even feel like the baby's like, ooh, it's like what's coming in here, but it's absolutely amazing. Iodine is amazing for pregnant women, and again, it's not a medical advice. I don't want anybody like start going crazy. There is I studied it a lot of false information about iodine and thyroid and autoimmunity thyroid. We are scared of iodine when we have thyroid because we are conditioned. Another thing I'm going to say, there is a lot of false information about a lot of medical and nutrition research. It's a lot of it being backed up by money, manipulation, greed, and it does exist on this planet. So let's don't pretend that it doesn't.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
so
Embedded in everything, right?
Yeah, no. And we have, as women, we have this innate intuition. We all do. We directly connected to God, directly. It's just every woman is so freaking powerful. We just, from the beginning, we learned that don't listen to intuition. Don't wear a red dress, wear a blue dress. We're not going to do art because I want you to play the piano. All of this bullshit is coming, and we'll lose that voice. So when you remove this bullshit from nutrition from doctor is a god, from like this lady who is teaching you how to make millions on Instagram, she's a goddess. You just have a screenshot of her life. Right now I feel like I get into their body and like living their life. I'm like, the screenshot of what's on stage or on Instagram, it's not their life. Do you want it, babe, or not? So it's like, you don't want her life. You want the feeling. You want the state. She's confident. She's outgoing. So everything is just, don't create the like ideals for you. You are the God. They are not. And then you start hearing your intuition. Yeah, sometimes it's like the first thought is coming to you, but they told me I should eat these, but my body's saying, do not eat these, you know?
Right, listen, yes.
Yes, listen. And another thing, we need to wake up and have a really good look at ourselves. Like, your husband is exactly your avatar in that game who's running around. You think he's a loser, you're making him a loser just with the thought of it. And, you know, you want a god, you want the billionaire, you want this, but look at yourself. And it doesn't mean that you're some kind of faulty. It's just the state you're in. If you feel like you don't have to, it's not about makeup. It's not about how tidy or what are you doing. Like, it's how do you feel? That's the type of man you have. And you don't need to change anything about yourself. Just how you love yourself. How do you feel inside? And when we look at our past, I feel like I just realized the more of problems you had, the cooler your soul is. It means you're such an old soul. You needed all of this experience to your big purpose. Every lady who's like listening to us right now, you feel like you're nothing. You feel like somebody is better. You feel like you've been through so much. You feel tired. That's something. It's like you'll find your way. Do what you love. Do what you love. Do what you enjoy. Forget about what they told you. Go and sometimes it's just like asking yourself, to that question, who is talking in my head? Is it me or is it that avatar? Is it that, Melanie? You are not Melanie. That's a mask. You are inside of you. Always ask yourself, who is talking? What I want? What do I feel like is right for me? You can take the information from us or from anybody else, or you can leave it. You are the creator of your parents are you as older version. Your children are you as a child. Look at what you don't like in them. And you don't like them. They're just you. And when you accept you, all of a sudden they change. All of a sudden your husband changes. You're like, I am a fairy. I don't know. I am like elf. Like, I don't know. I'm a magical creature. I can control my reality. I can manipulate people with just my thought. And they are my little creatures. They're my avatars in this game. And do I compete with them? Do I explain? They are me. Why do I need to argue with them? God, I love them. They're like so cute. They're my creation.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like,
I love that. I love that so much, because that's really just bringing it back down to a very simple concept is that, it all starts with us, how we are inside, becoming what I hear you saying is becoming that, limitless being, that beautiful, essence of what's inside of you outside. But now people are obviously in different places. And so that's what I'd like to talk to you about is steps, because, someone listening might be in a place where, like a couple of years back, I was drinking lots of alcohol and I was eating a lot of food and I was like 20 pounds overweight. And coming through, COVID and stuff, I know a lot of people talked about the COVID-15 or COVID-20 because people gained a lot of weight from drinking and eating, and people are doing recreational drugs, and the toxicity is incredible. So I want to talk a little about the step. So how would you take someone through the step of, okay, obviously they come to you, but they're ready. I mean, there's something that I'm going, I need to shift this because I'm not feeling well. And that's normally when people get to those places, right? They're either they've got cancer, they're not feeling well, something's wrong, or I just need some support. So please share with the listeners how you would help someone when they come to you for support in their health and what you have to offer them.
You know what I really figured out through a lot of clients now, when the person comes to me and I can give like the general advice for somebody who listened to me, how my journey started. And when somebody comes to me, some kind of like, I guess you call it empathy or something, but I can kind of like get into the energy because I have, through my journey and through a lot of school and study, I kind of have in the different discipline, I have the knowledge. So it's in psychology, psychosomatics, mind, like all of the protocols, functional medicine, herbs, and spiritually I went through hell, and it gives me an idea that I can probably help somebody to go through the same hell with guiding them. I kind of, when the particular person come to me, I know they came for a reason, and I'm just like half of a step behind, 2 steps, in front of them, 2 steps or 3 steps, depending on the person. And it's called like inside myself, I call it precision healing. And I see that, I'm like, oh, and I design the steps for them. It's with the test, body, like mind, and I listen to them, and I kind of create this blanket around them where I help them first feel safe. Second, go to their big dreams. No, second is just to remove all of this, shedding all of this bullshit, this the matrix society, whatever is popular now to call this 3D surreal reality. And then that flower, open up to their big dream, the body they want to feel comfortable in. And then it's like, oops, their goal. But it's very, very unique for each person, because I feel like we, as what's popular right now to call ourselves healers, sharers, whatever who we are, because we feel like we
People that
must
showed up.
share. Yeah,
We're really
we
at
just
least people that show up. We showed
yeah,
up.
yeah. We just can't don't do what we don't want to do. And what I believe is, like before I was talking about gut health before because I had IBS. I was talking about hormones before because I felt like hormones like really manipulating my life. Then the yeast and stuff. And then when I get to the level I know about it enough, I lose interest in it. I really believe, like, you're looking at a lot of women out there and you're like, oh, I want to be like her. She got it all. She's so sexy. She teaching this. I realized she teaching because she's still studying it. She didn't get to understanding. Because you got to understanding of it, you lose the interest. So I don't like to talk about gut health. If person come to me, we'll do that. But I don't want to talk about it much anymore because I got it. Like now, my next level is not. I study with people in Russia right now who don't drink and don't eat for a very long time, for like 30, and they're normal people. They're not yogis in the monastery, but they call themselves autonomes. So they don't depend on food, so they can go for like long time, and it's not fasting, and it's doesn't deprive them. So this is my goal right now. So I feel like my muscles start working differently, and I don't eat much right now. So, but my body, of course, it's all a brand new body. Fasting can get you far if you do it the right way. And it's, you don't have to kill yourself in a person. Again, back to pregnancy. Enjoy, enjoy. I realized that it doesn't matter what is your new goal. While you want to arrive at it so badly, you hating the process, you'll never arrive, ever. Or you're going to break yourself in the process. As soon as you shift, as soon as you don't feel, it's like pendulum, if you're putting like, oh, I'm feeling, that's what exhausts us so much. We always have these thoughts. Today I love my husband, tomorrow I hate him. Today kids are good, tomorrow I hate them. And it's like, woo, woo, woo. And we put so much energy into this and we're getting exhausted. And I'm like, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stop. Before I wanted to heal my gut, now my gut is totally perfect, but I'm still not happy with myself because I want to be like them and go 40 days without eating and drinking. And I can't do that yet. And I'm like, shit, girl, just stop. Enjoy the process. Stop arriving everywhere all the time. And that's when I had these cravings to eat all the time. Because it shows us if we're eating fast, if we always have cravings, we're not satisfied where we are. We always want to be full. we rested, have energy already arrive. And then I learned how to block my thoughts, like, who is talking right now? And when you start, okay, stop the thoughts. You're not one of these ships. You can direct the ships, the thoughts that are bah, bah in your head all the time. You're like, okay, well, let's stop. You know what I mean? And then you stop, like, if you want to arrive somewhere, you're putting too much energy into it. And we're living in duality. When you stop feeding that energy and you shift your focus into not just living in everyday moment and enjoying it. Because this is how, like, if you were God, you'd be like, I got the whole universe. I don't need to arrive anywhere. I don't need to achieve anything. This is all my creation. So I'm going to come here and just enjoy just being here. And I know it's like, it took me, gosh, long time to understand. So the process, that's when you arrive everywhere you want. The key to everything is to enjoy here and now. And I know everybody's going to say, well, whew, that's simple, and they're going to forget about it tomorrow. But remind yourself, here and now is the key. And when you stop your thoughts from coming in, because with our state and thoughts, we create that reality. When you don't want to achieve to perfect health, when you don't want to stop drinking, when you don't want, you just live here and now. Your higher self, it already knows you want to stop drinking. It already knows that you're putting your energy in here all the time. You're loving your husband, not loving your husband. When you're like, I'm the goddess, who's going to be next to me? God. And then you just like, whatever I created, here's my husband. And I don't want to expect anything from him anymore. He's me. I don't want to expect from my body anything. I'm already have everything we wanted inside of us. Whatever you shut up and just enjoy the process, the higher self going to download everything into your life. Everything will come. Everything will come. I'm still in the process of it. I still have this meh all the time. The ships are coming to me. But it's a beautiful process. We're humans, that's why.
Yes.
So my quest right now is if I want to come to something, I'm like, okay, I registered, I want it, and forget about it. And enjoy here and now. Don't need to invent how. Life is so simple. If you want 1 million, write it down and forget. It will come. Do not feed the energy, because if you're feeding energy, the pendulum gonna come in here and then boom, it's gonna go back and hurt you so badly. That's why people get their 1 million. They're like, oh shit, something is still missing. And they want 2, but they still not happy with millions, with health. And we deserve all of it. It's just like, enjoy the moment right now. Because the more you're feeding that future, the more you create it. The more you're feeding the future, the more you create it. Here and now creates your ideal future if you just let the future go. Okay, I'll stop talking right now.
No, that's so good. You're so passionate. And I guess the one thing I want to say about all of that, which was so lovely, is how, as us that show up, you for working with your body and mind and spirit, me working with spirit, body and mind, because it's all together, right? I mean, we're all working all of it. Is that we're just way showers, like, we're human, we're just showing up. And then I've found too, like in the people that I work spiritually with, they are just a little bit behind me. Like I've already put together something that they need for their journey. And that's like you too, is what I'm hearing you say, is that you put together a lot of different unfoldings throughout your life. And the people that are going to come work with you is because you've put together a little something or something else that they are looking for. And it's a beautiful quest. It's a beautiful adventure to work with people and to, to really support how we're going through our journey. Because we're human. I make mistakes. Like you're talking about discerning energy. I have energy move in on me still, all the time, because we're going through this planet and it has its challenges, but we've put so much together, Olesya. So it's so wonderful to have you here to share, what you put together for yourself in this realm of through the body.
Yeah. Through the body. What's the question? I'm sorry. I think
there's no question. I just wanted to respond to that. Because,
right.
like, again, it's just the fact that, you've put so much together, and that those are the people who are going to come to you, are going to be people who are looking for what the pieces you put together for yourself. And the fact that you said about just really being present, that may be the piece that people need to hear on this podcast, honestly. is just enjoying
Probably,
being
yeah.
here right now.
Yeah, yeah. And Teresa, I have all of the like protocol and they all play the role. But again, I realize the key is enjoying in your journey right now. And in the body, like the body, it's not the sickness. It's only sickness because you call it sickness. It's only hurt because the name is hurt. What if you forget again what they taught you about your body, and you just for a moment think that your body detoxing, healing, it is through pain sometimes, including our mind and spiritual journey. Sometimes I went through one like time where I hated everything, where I was so empty, I didn't want anything. And then all of a sudden I woke up like, oh, I'm ready to go. But we have to go through this moment where the old is purging and it's painful, including the body. What if you're not broken? What if, like, sorry, I don't know, like your hormone imbalance is not the hormone imbalance? What if we took the spiritual approach to the body, understand this is a very, very intelligent thing your body is. This is your vessel from your soul. It's like a window to the world. And when you're changing spiritually, a lot of times your body has to whoop, kind of like, how you said at the beginning, connect to who you are right now. So if you're feeling like, hey, like you said before, that's the answer to the question, like the feeling like they changed in here in the mind, but the body doesn't work yet, just don't think that your thoughts create the reality. So whatever you think about your body, you're going to create that reality. So it's not a problem. It's not a freaking symptom. It's not a diagnosis. As soon as you go to doctor and they put a stamp on you, that's a good. So.
Like your stamp, right? Like you're not going to live past 30. Yes, I am.
Yeah, they actually have the whole industry. When they have the people go into their place, they sign the paper that they're not going to show, and they predict what kind of next medication they're going to put you on, what kind of like how long you're going to live, what kind of surgery you're going to have, just from the very first prescription they gave you. They already plan next steps for you. This is, I hope that they're going to come for me for this, but this is the reality. This is the reality. I think, what's his name? Gary Braca talking about it. I don't know, you can Google his name, like whoever is interested. He worked there. So if you want to come for him, come for him. He's talking about that.
Okay, we're not calling out people, Olesya. No. We're good.
All right. I'm just kidding. But
I know it's all good.
Yeah. But it's like help your body, and in your mind knowing, whoa, I'm going to the next level. Whoa, it's gonna be awesome. And then the next steps for me was, and what I share with my clients, remove yeast, bacteria and parasites. They garbaging our mind. They manipulate our hormones. They manipulate our neurotransmitters. They lower serotonin. They lower like the feel-good hormone, the leadership hormone. They literally affect our brain. The less of these creatures you have in your body, including good ones, that's the key to it, including good bacteria. We don't need as many. If we have less of them, we're going to eat less food. We want less food. We just like, if we chew, we eliminate them. We chew really well, how we're supposed to chew. You realize like you don't need it 5 times a day and snacks in between. You will realize it. I promise you, lady or man, just the journey. And of course, wormwood, powder arco, beautiful herbs, iodine, the potassium, like minerals, the beautiful herbs that are available in the tinctures, in the supplements. You can come, I have Tree of Life. There was my exactly steps. Cleansing your liver, I'm still big believing in that, because you'll see what kind of creatures coming out of you, and you're like, well, let's just stop feeding them. Let's feed our own precious body. And then all of a sudden, everything starts clicking in your body and start working. So detoxing the cell, detoxing the small intestine, detoxing the liver, it works. It does work.
I love your passion so much for the body, because I am a true believer in you got to take care of this temple. So I want to share that. I know you've got a beautiful YouTube channel where people can go to and listen to more about iodine, because I saw the video on there. and there's all kinds about minerals, and you've got all kinds of a wonderful video. So tell some other ways that people can get in touch with you as far as if they want to work with you or they want to find out more about what you do.
Yeah, you see, I was pretty disorganized, so I have so many channels, and they have different names. And my first name is kind of hard. It's OlesyaWilson.com. It's my YouTube and a website, and you can go there. You can schedule a call with me anytime. There are some resources in there, but also I do have Instagram. But I think kind of like lately I lost the appeal of Instagram. I don't know why, but I do have a pretty big page in it. But I don't know. I feel like it's I don't know.
And I'll have all those links in the show notes. So if you listeners want to check out her what she's doing in YouTube, all that'll be in the show notes. So no worries there.
Yeah, but OlesyaWilson.com is pretty cool.
Thank you. I so appreciate it so very much. Thank you for listening to another episode of Enthusiastically Spiritual. And once again, a big thanks to my guest, Olesya Wilson, for coming on today and sharing all about the body, how to detox, how to really be healthy. And you know what? The big thing for me was just being present and enjoying the journey, enjoying the unfoldment. So I hope that you've received some nuggets for yourself and for your journey. And if you like this episode, please make sure that you hit like. Please make sure if you'd like to leave a comment, also hit subscribe. Also, please feel free to share this with your friends and family or anyone you think you might know that might be interested in hearing a little more insights about being enthusiastic, especially around the body. So until next time, please remember that life is too short to not be enthusiastic about your unique journey.